Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ringside Wrestling Entertainment. This is Joel Perez here, and we are here, of course, here tonight for your Smackdown Live review. It was your Smackdown Live after WrestleMania here tonight, April 10th, 2018, ladies and gentlemen. And to say the least, this was a better show than what we've seen on Monday Night Raw or at WrestleMania. But to be quite frank with you, there was not much to compete with here tonight as far as the quality of this show. It was an exciting SmackDown Live. I'm much more open, clearly, to see the feuds progress on SmackDown because they're going to go somewhere different. And if you're going to continue the feuds that you had on SmackDown, I was okay with those feuds, and I wanted to see those feuds more fleshed out to begin with. So the fact here tonight that SmackDown continued its feuds or introduced a new star to continue their feuds, I was okay with that. That didn't stop there from being the same illogical booking decisions that we seen all the goddamn time here tonight on SmackDown Live. The illogical booking does not stop with this company, and this is a rant that I think I'm gonna have to go on because they have not stopped. The entirety of this WrestleMania, entire week since WrestleMania to this SmackDown, the illogical booking left and right. I'm absolutely sick of it. We're going to talk about that here tonight. And a prime example came when Carmella cashed in her Money in the Bank on Charlotte here tonight when she could have easily done that on Charlotte during the matchup at WrestleMania, and we would have avoided a big blunder with Asuka losing her streak. Ridiculous booking on the part of WWE on that. Another thing that happened here tonight, Rusev Day. Once again shafted of an opportunity in favor of Jinder Mahal and Randy Orton in a feud that we've seen how many goddamn times already? How many goddamn times? Not once did anybody want to see it, and I'm sure we don't want to see it again, and this is a prime example of WWE not listening to their fans. Another big talking point here tonight on your SmackDown Live review. We're also going to talk about Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles. Why the hell did they go one-on-one here tonight? It makes no goddamn sense. Again with the illogical booking. Why would you give a match like this away on SmackDown Live? Don't get me wrong, I was delighted to see it, and it's one of the reasons this show was above what we seen at WrestleMania and was above what we seen on Monday Night Raw last night. But even then, why the hell would you book this matchup on TV? Just so it can go in the final 15 minutes of SmackDown Live with a commercial break slapped in between. You've got to be kidding me with that one. That is not the stage that I would like to see a WrestleMania-worthy match if you're being realistic to yourself in AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan showcased. I did not agree with that. We had the Usos and the New Day in a matchup against each other. That was one of the better parts of SmackDown Live because they put on a matchup caliber of the Usos and the New Day. So that was one of the better parts here tonight, as well as Paige being introduced as the new general manager of SmackDown Live, which once again was another up here tonight on SmackDown Live. So a night of ups and downs. But realistically, WWE, you gotta get on top of the booking because it's not even storyline yet. And I'm sure we're gonna get there where the storyline is going to be abysmal. But right now, the pure booking and everything in terms of continuity and making sense is in the toilet. And we're gonna talk about that here tonight very, very seriously. But of course, before we do go into the specifics here tonight, talking SmackDown Live, I just want to tell you guys to make sure to go check out all the other content on the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel. Of course, like I mentioned, your Monday Night Raw review up on the channel, doing better than the WrestleMania review. That I would credit to WrestleMania being uploaded in the morning after WrestleMania, and Raw being uploaded in the nighttime in the midst of its heyday right there. Picked up steam throughout the day as well today, where WrestleMania just got that throughout the day steam, and it didn't get that steam, that extra push that it would have gotten throughout being uploaded in the night. That rendering time really killed the WrestleMania review, and I'm pissed off. But you know what, guys? It's up to you to help me out. If you haven't seen the WrestleMania review yet, I highly suggest you go check it out. We talk everything regarding the biggest show of the year. Make sure to go check out the WrestleMania 34 review. You know I was no fan of WrestleMania 34. The streak ended. I was no fan of that. Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar, one of the most abysmal WrestleMania main events that I've ever seen. No fan of that. AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura underdelivered. I talk all the specifics on the WrestleMania 34 review. Go check that out. And, of course, Monday Night Raw last night, where it was padded with debut here, return there, debut here, return there. But ultimately, it was just the same old garbage that we're all accustomed to. Make sure to go check out why this is my opinion on Raw. Raw review was uploaded last night. If you missed the show, or you want an educated opinion on the show, or both of those things, make sure to go check it out. And that's the perfect reason to make sure to subscribe to the Ringside Wrestling News channel. Because not only do you get all the content regarding the WWE, but you also get a truthful, honest, legitimate opinion of what I am thinking. I am not holding the punches. This is what I think about the WWE product. You're not going to get a more honest opinion than here. Whether my opinion is correct on some days or wrong on the other, it is still what I think. And most of the time, I think I'm giving you pretty truthful opinion about the current stance of the WWE product. So you're not going to get it any better than here, right here on the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel. And of course, there is no better time to subscribe coming out of WrestleMania. So make sure to support, because it really helps out, and it really helps. It motivates me to continue working on this harder and harder, because it is a passion of mine. No doubt about it. So make sure to subscribe to the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel. No better time. Make sure to do it. And of course, if you're going to do that, click on the notification bell as well. You click on that, you get all the videos straight to your mobile device notification box right there. So it helps out the channel, and you'll always know when I upload, because YouTube likes to be fishy with that subscription box every once in a while. Make sure to like, make sure to comment, because of course your opinion is just as important as mine. Because for now, we're going straight into the opening of SmackDown Live, and that of course had to do with Paige being announced as the new general manager of SmackDown Live. And I found this to be the best decision WWE could have possibly made when it came to announcing a general manager of SmackDown Live. There was no better way to go but with Paige, and WWE capitalized on that here tonight. Shane McMahon names Paige the new general manager of SmackDown Live.
Daniel's toughness, because of his passion, because of Daniel's resolve to never let anyone take away his dream, we not only competed, but we won. And I think we can all agree that seeing Daniel Bryan in action was something magical, and he was born to do this. He has truly crossed back over to become a full-time in-ring performer and WWE superstar. Because of that, I have graciously accepted Daniel's resignation as SmackDown's general manager. It's okay. This is all good. It's all good. And since this is the land of opportunity, when one door closes, another yet opens. So allow me to introduce all of you to the new SmackDown general manager. I give you Paige.
I love it. She's out the door on Raw one night, she's in the door on SmackDown Live the next. There she was. Let me skip forward just for copyright reasons. Immediate chance of "This Is Your House."
I want to make this night truly special for every single one of you. So let's talk about Daniel Bryan. wants to see him in action tonight. Therefore, Daniel Bryan will face AJ Styles.
I love it. That was a crazy decision right there. But it comes with its problems, and we're going to talk about that right now. So that started a yes chant. So here's the thing with this decision. First, the crowd chanted Rusev Day. Why wouldn't you have gone with Rusev versus Daniel Bryan? That would have been a great matchup. That would have been a great matchup. Rusev would have lost, but it would have been a great matchup. The reaction would have been crazy. The two biggest baby faces, and it doesn't have to be anything special because next week WWE has positioned themselves, and this is one of the biggest errors that WWE has made with the. Oh, this is going to be a common theme in this episode, so listen up, pucker up. The booking that WWE has positioned themselves right after WrestleMania, so a superstar shakeup immediately invalidates whatever moves they make yesterday on Monday Night Raw or this week on SmackDown Live. It invalidates everything. It invalidates everything that you've seen here tonight. You don't know how crazy WWE is going to go with the superstar shakeup. Is Backlash going to be along the lines of the pay-per-view that Payback was last year? Are we going to be seeing Raw and SmackDown superstars post-superstar shakeup? So let's say, if Roman Reigns, this is just a crazy example, if Roman Reigns gets drafted to SmackDown, but he was booked for Backlash against Samoa Joe, or vice versa, Samoa Joe was drafted to SmackDown, and he's booked for Roman Reigns in a matchup against Roman Reigns at Backlash, does that mean that we're still seeing Samoa Joe versus Roman Reigns at Backlash? That's a question that WWE has left looming here. So anything you do here is left invalidated because you don't know if after next week the matches that were made on this show, like Jinder Mahal versus Randy Orton, like the Usos versus the New Day, you don't know if they're even going to get a proper build because now superstar shakeup. Now Randy Orton could get drafted to Monday Night Raw, which I have been a proponent that he should because he's been garbage on SmackDown Live probably since very early 2017 when he was still teaming with Bray Wyatt. So this booking just makes no sense. It makes no sense. You should have realistically booked the superstar shakeup for some time, like maybe after Backlash, I don't know. And on top of that, you have this greatest Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia. Once again, what's going to be the situation there? If you're booked for a matchup at the greatest Royal Rumble, which might as well be a glorified house show that WWE is trying to position as higher than WrestleMania. And we're going to talk about the greatest Royal Rumble. I'm trying to find the time to make a separate video about this. I'm also trying to talk about the superstar shakeup. I'm also trying to talk about the reason that Roman Reigns was beaten by Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. There's just no time for this, ladies and gentlemen. Just no time. But that is besides the point, because speaking of this AJ Styles versus Daniel Bryan madness, like I mentioned, what sense did it make to give away a WrestleMania caliber matchup if you wanted to on this show? At the very least, a pay-per-view caliber matchup for that WWE Championship on this show. Why would you give that away here tonight? Yeah, the little we saw of it, what they did in the ring was absolutely fantastic, and it's a dream match by all accords, which it goes to show you how boneheaded WWE not just booking decisions are, but business decisions are. This matchup can realistically make you a lot of money. The top face on SmackDown Live for the past 2 years AJ Styles, and now a returning top babyface of your entire company, Daniel Bryan, on the same goddamn brand for the WWE Championship. Imagine that being booked for SummerSlam. That's a money match right there, bro. That is a money match. You mean to tell me you're giving it away, 1, unadvertised, 2, for free, 3, for 15 minutes with the commercial break slapped in between? When's the next time we're going to see this matchup? The next time we see this matchup, it's going to be devalued by this matchup that we've seen here tonight, because of the fact that you had this matchup here, and it takes away from how big the matchup is, because, well, they're willing to give it away on SmackDown Live, so WWE must not think much of the matchup. The matchup must not be that special. That's what that does to the brain of the casual viewer. That's what that realistically does. It makes no sense, bro. It realistically makes no sense. And for those very few minority who are just completely stupid out there, who are under the impression that AJ Styles is moving to Monday Night Raw, are you ridiculous? Are you ridiculous? I mean, you've got to be kidding me with that decision if WWE went through on that one. AJ Styles is your WWE champion. If you draft him to Raw, I damn well doubt they're moving Brock Lesnar to SmackDown. So, if you draft AJ Styles to Monday Night Raw, SmackDown Live is without a champion for God knows how long. That sounds absolutely ridiculous. That sounds absolutely ridiculous. Or at least through Backlash, because again, if AJ Styles gets drafted to Raw as WWE champion, and he's building a matchup with Shinsuke Nakamura at Backlash for the WWE Championship, not only does that make that matchup at Backlash uber predictable, because you know AJ Styles is losing the WWE Championship because it's going to be clearly brought back to SmackDown by Shinsuke Nakamura. They're not going to leave SmackDown without a world champion. So, 1, why would they make that rematch so predictable unless WWE just does not give a crap about it, which I can definitely see being the reason. And 2, why the hell would AJ Styles move to Raw as WWE Champion? It does not make sense. That is a World Championship. Raw already has a World Championship. Why would you make Paige, who is your new general manager of SmackDown Live, look like such an idiot by letting go her world champion in a goddamn trade, which I'm guessing is what the Superstar Shakeup is. They don't even tell you what it is. The Superstars just show up on SmackDown Live or Monday Night Raw. Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. The booking of WWE makes no sense, and some of the theories that these fans be throwing out there, holy crap, they are grounded in the absolute farthest thing from reality. But that is besides the point. Moving on what we saw here on SmackDown Live, we moved on to the New Day versus the Usos. And let me tell you, this was a very good matchup. We've clearly seen better from the Usos and the New Day. I mean, there's been Hell in a Cell matches, SummerSlam pre-show matches, Money in the Bank pay-per-view matches. All those matches are going to blow away what they do on TV. You're not going to get invested while there's commercial breaks thrown in between. It's just not going to happen. But they still put on a very, very good contest here tonight. And the right winners won. Hopefully this means that the Usos are staying on SmackDown Live. There have been some rumors throwing around that the Usos are going to be a team traded to SmackDown Live. The Usos are the absolute epitome and center of the SmackDown Live tag team division, and I think you need to keep them as such. They're the best tag team in the WWE. You look at Raw's tag team division and what it's going to be looking like. Right now, it's going to be Cesaro and Sheamus. It's going to be the Woken Hardys, whether it's Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy or Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy. So you got that team. You got the Authors of Pain. You got just whatever other team Monday Night Raw decides to throw. If you move Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable over to Monday Night Raw, that's another team you can have right there. You can move over Breezango. That's 5 teams. You can build them up as well. So I'd say you give Monday Night Raw some other SmackDown teams, because SmackDown has more legitimate teams than Monday Night Raw does. Maybe give Monday Night Raw the New Day. Maybe give Monday Night Raw the New Day. I was very disappointed here tonight as far as call-ups go from NXT. I fully expected Sanity to show up on SmackDown Live here tonight. That was not the case. I doubt they're going to show up next week. Why would they debut next week and not the following, or this week? Why would they debut next week? I hope that the case is that during the Superstar Shakeup, Sanity shows up. I would love to see that because SmackDown needs a team like Sanity in their division. Raw got the Authors of Pain. Raw had no tag team division to begin with, but that is besides the point. Raw got the Authors of Pain. Raw got a newly assembled team with Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt. SmackDown's looking slim because you realistically, without Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable, if they're traded, you have no teams built up. And if SmackDown Live is getting Raw teams, they're really getting the bitter end of a stick right there, because Raw teams, we know Raw has no tag team division. They are not established. SmackDown Live is going to have to take those teams and establish them themselves. So that's going to be an utter failure in and of itself right there. So, I mean, realistically, you gotta give SmackDown something, and I think the perfect way to go there is Sanity. Hopefully they do debut next week if all else fails, because the only NXT pairing that debuted here tonight were Peyton Royce and Billie Kay, the iconic duo. And don't get me wrong, I was very happy because of that, and no doubt about it, Peyton Royce and Billie Kay looked absolutely fantastic. They were one of the highlights of SmackDown Live. We'll talk about that here tonight, but just the simple fact that you made it, the fact that you allowed the SmackDown Live tag team division to suffer in this way is not acceptable. It's not acceptable. I lost my bearings there for a second. But one thing I do like is that the Usos are going to be the one challenging the Bludgeon Brothers. This is going to be at the Saudi Arabia show, the 50-man greatest Royal Rumble. This is realistically the matchup we should have gotten at WrestleMania. Hopefully they let these guys actually compete and it's not a squash. Bludgeon Brothers got to get past the squash. A lot of people are finding them boring. One way you can get past that is that you can have them actually have a competitive match with somebody. Not even the matchup we saw at WrestleMania was a competitive match. If WWE is really trying to make this greatest Royal Rumble pay-per-view better than WrestleMania, you will let them have a competitive match, and hopefully that is the case, because maybe WrestleMania, the suffering there was from the lack of time. So maybe this time the Bludgeon Brothers and the Usos will get time, because they only got 5 minutes at WrestleMania. So hopefully this time it's a different story. After the matchup, after the Usos won here, the Bludgeon Brothers came out and they pointed their hammers at the Usos and pretty much set up whatever the hell they're doing there. We moved on here to, what did we move on here to? I think it was the Charlotte situation. Am I correct on that? Let me see here. Yes, it was the Charlotte situation. Oh my, this reminds me, right before the Charlotte situation on this show here tonight, we got something absolutely fantastic from Shinsuke Nakamura. I'm going to play this for you guys right here. Actually, no, it wasn't even Charlotte. I'm wrong. I completely forgot about this. Naomi versus Natalya. Holy crap, this was awful. The matchup was decent. I barely watched it, don't get me wrong. These two women on SmackDown, these are actually the women that I'm saying you got to move over to Monday Night Raw. They are doing absolutely nothing impactful on SmackDown Live, and I think they can do better as good in-ring competitors on Monday Night Raw, because holy crap. SmackDown Live, they are two of the blandest women on this roster. Holy crap. I am tired of seeing Natalya and Naomi on SmackDown. They've been there since the beginning, since the original draft, and I think it's time for them to get some new scenery. No doubt about it. We saw a backstage video from earlier today of Naomi being interviewed by Dasha Fuentes next to the WrestleMania Women's Battle Royal. She's just looking at this inverted uterus, which is what everybody's been calling it, and that's exactly what it looks like. Anyways, Natalya interrupts and they have words. Natalya hopes Naomi gets shipped off to Raw next week in the Superstar Shakeup. So do I. And what was it that they say? The Naomi said some crap and about the glow, right? She said some crap about the glow, and Naomi was like, Natalia, excuse me, what's the difference? Natalia was like, can you stop talking like a 7th grader? Well, you know what? That's a great line, because I would be under the impression that SmackDown Live and this entire segment that we've seen here tonight between Naomi and Natalia was written by a 7th grader. Matter of fact, I'd probably go as low as a 4th or 5th grader, because this was awful. Anyways, we moved on to this matchup here. Nothing special, just to get these women on the show, get some traction behind them. I would have just completely left this off and made time maybe for the debut of a Sanity. That's what I would have done there, but that was not the case. Or I would have made time for the debut of an Andrade Cien Almas. Holy shit, that's what should have been done. Where the hell was Andrade? It looks like he has unfinished business on NXT. It looks like Triple H wants to keep him down there a little while longer to keep him from the plague that is the main roster. Don't blame him. I don't want to see anybody come up from NXT after the way they've been booking recently. Holy crap. I'd rather them stay down there. Crap. And speaking of garbage here tonight, they said the line again. Well, this is the SmackDown Live after WrestleMania. You know, the fans are crazier here tonight. They like to cheer the people they normally boo and boo the people they normally cheer. You've got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me with that, bro. Stop it with the bullshit lines. It is ridiculous at this point. Why the hell did you have to bring it up again here tonight? Ridiculous line. You have to cut that off. You really, really do. Same situation last year. But speaking of Naomi versus Natalia, that's Naomi won here tonight. I don't know what the hell she won with. She hits the split-legged moonsault. There you go. Who cares? Not I. We move on to something that was actually worth watching here tonight. Why did Nakamura attack AJ Styles? Here it is. If this will load here. There it is.
Shinsuke, a lot of people are calling your attack on AJ Styles reprehensible, a heinous act, and at the very least, poor sportsmanship. After so many years of anticipation, why would you tarnish your dream match?
Renee, I don't know what came over me. Maybe I got too emotional. I'm very, very sorry for what I did to AJ Styles.
Shinsuke, clearly you're being very disingenuous. Please, can you give me an answer why you attacked AJ Styles?
Sorry, no speak English.
That was line of the night right there. That was absolutely amazing. No doubt about it. Sorry, no speak English. That was absolutely fantastic. Heel Nakamura after day one, which was here tonight. Absolutely fantastic. I'm loving the heel Nakamura. Nakamura oozes personality left and right, and he will dig into this role very well. WWE treats their heels way better than they do their baby faces. You just gotta look what a heel turn did for Sami Zayn. Kevin Owens has been one of the most solidly booked NXT superstars to date. Even Samoa Joe has not been ruined yet by WWE main roster. He's gone down to a couple injuries, and that has absolutely plagued him, but he's been booked very well as Samoa Joe. Anybody who has come up from NXT and been a heel upon arrival has been booked very well. And this is why I'm pushing so hard for Bobby Roode to turn heel. Because a heel turn on the main roster, more times than not, does very well for your career. And I think it can do the absolute same for the team, or not the team, the act of Bobby Roode, and that's why I push so hard for it. And the fact that Bobby Roode is still doing the same crap really pisses me off. Just look at what a heel turn, another example, look at what a heel turn did for the Usos. Look at that. AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura are going to have a much more interesting storyline this time around. I'm going to be excited to see their matchup going into Backlash, I'm guessing, because or even the Greatest Royal Rumble. If once again WWE wants to make the Greatest Royal Rumble your real WrestleMania, and you know the reason You know what? I'll actually save that for a separate video. Oh, I'm a troll, aren't I? Subscribe to the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel right now. Anyways, that is besides the point. Nakamura versus AJ, there's no way. There's no way they're going to go at it for a second time and they're going to underdeliver. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. The fact that WWE was not doing this before going into WrestleMania, the fact that they weren't giving you this feud 100% before WrestleMania is an absolute disgrace. This matchup, Shinsuke versus AJ at WrestleMania, should have gone another 10 minutes. I'm sure if they would have gone another 10, 15 minutes, that matchup would have gotten to the level that it needed to be, and we would all be sitting here telling a different tune, and then when Nakamura turns heel, it would just be the icing on top of the cake. Instead, WWE ended that match early. WWE put that match in a slot it didn't need to be in. Absolutely horrible match order at WrestleMania 34. And on top of that, they held back. I know they held back Shinsuke Nakamura and AJ Styles in favor of Roman Reigns, and it all screams straight at your face bullshit. Hopefully they can redeem themselves, whether it be at the Greatest Royal Rumble or whether it be at Backlash. I really don't care. The two events are 10 days apart from each other, which is absolutely ridiculous. More shitty booking on the part of WWE, in a different sense, of course. Shitty booking in the sense of the way they're booking their dates. And, of course, they love to do shitty booking in the way they write storylines and the way they write and book SmackDown Lives. But that is besides the point. We move on here on this show to Rusev versus Randy, still to move on to Rusev versus Randy Orton. We moved on to Charlotte Flair. She took the microphone here tonight. She didn't say much, but there was an iconic duo who had a lot to say, and I'm going to play this segment for you guys here tonight. To be quite honest with you, I didn't want to hear anything out of Charlotte's mouth after she unnecessarily beat Asuka's streak. I'm still not over it. I'm sure I will, but I'm just completely distraught by the fact that WWE would make such an apprehensible, retard booking decision right there. Absolutely ridiculous decision. I am not in agreement with it whatsoever. But, I mean, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? It is WWE, and it sucks. I know. But this is something they've been doing for a long time. They did it with The Undertaker streak just because they were in the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans, same building where Undertaker lost his streak. I guess Asuka has to lose her streak. And, of course, they need to shove Charlotte down our throats because it's Charlotte versus Ronda. Charlotte is on the level of Roman Reigns right now when it comes to garbage shoved down your throat booking. Absolutely bullshit. The only place where Charlotte has the advantage is that she's actually talented within those ropes, and she actually possesses very, very good in-ring skill, and she is one of the best in-ring in her division. She is. There's no doubting Charlotte's ability. That's the only place where she is flourishing right now. But when it comes to being shoved down your throats, she's just as bad as Roman Reigns. But here's the segment. Billie Kay and Peyton Royce attack Charlotte Flair.
Asuka, we left every ounce of energy, we left every ounce of emotion in that stadium that night. I mean, I know it was WrestleMania, but there was something different about that night. It was special, it was magical. It really was. So the question is, who am I gonna make magic with next?
Charlotte, I hear, trying to make some magic. Well, I just so happen to know a couple of wizards. One of us can make that title disappear from around your waist.
I love the dialogue of Billie Kay and Peyton Royce.
Nobody wants to hear you yakking away. Peyton, show her how you do it. So she goes, she's like, hi, I'm Charlotte, and I'd like to thank Asuka and all the women on SmackDown Live and every little baby who grows up to be a woman, and who else? Ooh, I'd like to thank my second grade math teacher, and then there's the Uber driver who brought me to the arena, and air for allowing me to breathe, and blah, talking about a match that happened in the past. Especially when you're looking at the future. Right now, it's out with the old and in with the Iconics.
I don't like the name change. So they attack Charlotte. This is needless to play for you guys. They attack Charlotte. Brutal assault. I love the fact that they gave these women time. The assault went a little bit too long. Really, what I wanted to see Peyton Royce hit was that perfect plex of hers. Absolutely beautiful move. I do not know why the hell they did not allow Peyton Royce to hit that perfect plex. That's the best move in her arsenal. No doubt about it. But Peyton Royce and Billie Kay are what should have been brought up in exchange of the Riot Squad. The Riot Squad should not be on the main roster. Ruby Riott should have been having matches with Ember Moon for that NXT Women's Championship when she was NXT Women's Champion. She should still be down there. Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan were nowhere near ready to be on the main roster. I feel like nobody would be crying if those women were not up on the main roster yet. Maybe Ruby Riott was Ruby Riott was definitely ready to debut. But as far as Sarah Logan and Liv Morgan go, no doubt they did not need to be here. Peyton Royce and Billie Kay are two women who have absolutely everything to do with each other. Both Australian or accents, I don't know where the hell both technically are from, but both very, very ethnic, and they have things to do with each other. They are those mean girl bullies who are going to degrade you and attack you, and it's actually legitimate when they do take you down and you're invested in the attack. And I was invested in the attack here tonight. They threw Charlotte over the announce table. They threw her into the ring post. They double power bombed her on the mat. It all looked good. And this all led to a bunch of garbage. But before we talk about that, I just want to tell you guys, Charlotte beat the streak, right? Charlotte beat Asuka's streak, right? Did Charlotte feel any different to you on SmackDown Live? Did she feel any more accomplished to you on SmackDown Live? Do you feel like that streak did anything for her here tonight? I don't whatsoever. I feel like Charlotte is the same person who walked out. Maybe I feel a little bit better about her because she had a great match, which realistically wasn't even fully realized. It could have been a lot better if they would have given it more time. Again, another one of those matches that was rushed. But realistically, I don't feel any different about Charlotte. She's the same loaf of crap that was walking through the SmackDown Live locker room, that was walking out in front of us literally 1 week ago. The only difference is that she now has some accolade that she doesn't deserve. She now feels more shoved and forced for no goddamn reason. That's the only thing that's changed with Charlotte and my perception of her on SmackDown Live television. And you know why? You want to know why nothing feels different? It's because Charlotte was already accomplished. She was already established as somebody who WWE thinks very highly of. She was already established as somebody who can go, somebody who's legitimate, somebody who has championship gold and prestige around her waist. That's who Charlotte is. So beating Asuka didn't add anything to her lineage. It was not given to somebody who actually had something to gain from it. That's one of my biggest problems from Charlotte winning and beating the streak. She had nothing to gain from it. And here tonight, I didn't feel any different about her because she has nothing to gain from it. And that was proved. My point was proved here tonight. Tell me, leave it in the comment section below. Did you feel any different about Charlotte here tonight? I certainly didn't. But that is besides the point. We move on here on your SmackDown Live review. Billie Kay and Peyton Royce, they brutalized Charlotte here tonight. Great attack. And WWE brought out Carmella. Now, at this point, I really didn't give a crap that Carmella came out and cashed in on Charlotte. I was happy about it simply because I'm fed up with Charlotte. I don't want to look at Charlotte after she beat the streak. I'm just absolutely fed up with WWE pushing somebody down our throats who realistically is not better than Asuka. She is not. She shouldn't have been ready for Asuka. WWE put her in that position anyways. I'm fed up. I feel like Charlotte's the equivalent of Roman Reigns. Charlotte is the equivalent of Roman Reigns. But that is besides the point. That right there is besides the point. because Carmella cashed in her Money in the Bank briefcase here tonight. And one thing she actually did right here tonight was that she actually took one of the referees who came out to help Charlotte, and she just grabbed him by the waist and said, "Let's go." Before, there was already a referee there in the fake cash-ins or in the failed cash-ins. There was already a referee in the ring, and she would call out for another one. Thank God she didn't do that here tonight. They actually got it right. 15th time is the charm, WWE. Holy crap. Anyways, Carmella cashed in on Charlotte. One big super kick to the face was enough to do it. A super kick that she didn't even hit that properly, might I add. Anyways, Carmella's your new SmackDown Live Women's Champion. I don't think much of it. The only thing I really think here is that bullshit. Bullshit. I mean, are you dead ass? You mean to tell me you couldn't have had Carmella come out on WrestleMania and made this, one, a bigger moment with a bigger reaction, and cashed in the middle of Asuka and Charlotte's match? I mean, it's not like there was no opportunity for you to do it. Charlotte hit a goddamn Spanish fly off the top rope where she almost ended her life. So, you mean to tell me that Carmella couldn't have come in, pinned Charlotte, and made it a triple threat just like Seth Rollins did, pinned Charlotte, and that way Asuka's streak was still intact? Because at least you would have been able to say, okay, you can say Asuka's streak is over when it comes to losses, but she was never pinned or submitted, so the streak is still ongoing. And Asuka would have benefited. Charlotte wouldn't have been ridded of her women's championship in any embarrassing manner because she got cashed in on. And either way, if the plan was to have Carmella cash in and win the title tonight, if that was the goddamn plan, then why couldn't you have just done it on Sunday? Are you kidding me? More illogical, nonsensical booking. And this is my issue with this company right now. Nothing makes any goddamn sense. Holy shit, that sucks. Carmella's your new SmackDown Women's Champion. Asuka's lost her streak for no reason. And Charlotte is no longer Women's Champion anyways. So you've got to be kidding me with that. Anyways, we move on here to Bobby Roode versus Randy Orton versus Rusev. And, I mean, realistically, what are you going to do about this? WWE doesn't listen to their goddamn fans. More garbage here tonight on SmackDown Live. They don't listen. Rusev is clearly over. This is easy. They chant it every single week on SmackDown Live, on Monday Night Raw, to the point where Shane McMahon interrupted his segment. He had to say duly noted. In what situation was it duly noted? Because Rusev didn't win the United States Championship on Sunday. He was pinned for that very United States Championship on Sunday. They chanted it at the beginning of SmackDown Live here tonight. Before they even chanted AJ Styles, when Paige said, and his opponent is going to be, and then she took that big ass pause, they chanted Rusev Day. Rusev Day. WWE, of course, cut that one out of their goddamn WWE.com or their WWE YouTube page clip. Of course, they cut that one out, right? They chanted Rusev Day at the beginning of Monday Night Raw last night. It was Rusev Day all over the place on Monday Night Raw last night. Yet, Rusev here tonight once again gets shafted in favor of Randy Orton? Are you kidding me? Randy Orton, either way, he has a championship rematch against Jinder Mahal in his championship clause. So why the hell didn't you just do an impromptu United States Championship rematch here tonight and moved on into Backlash, I guess? Or you could have even done the United States Championship rematch between Orton and Mahal at the Saudi Arabia show, Greatest Royal Rumble, and you could have easily moved on right after that and decided here tonight between Rusev and Bobby Roode in a singles match who the number one contender would be for the United States Championship, whether it was in the hands of Randy Orton or Jinder Mahal at Backlash. That's what you should have done, and Rusev should have won, because WWE doesn't know how to recognize opportunity. Nope. Instead, here tonight, Rusev was eliminated from the equation. Bobby Roode took an RKO. And once again, Randy Orton versus Jinder Mahal. Who in their right mind wants to see that matchup? We saw it last year for the WWE Championship. When realistically last year, okay, we should have seen that feud for the United States Championship. That's the title that Jinder Mahal should have won originally. He won it 1 year too late. Now I'm supposed to buy in to this United States Championship reign. Well, guess what? I don't. And I don't want to be subjected and put into this misery, have to watch this misery between Jinder Mahal and Randy Orton again. This is bullshit. How they can think the fans want Randy Orton versus Jinder Mahal again over Rusev and Jinder Mahal is absolutely beyond me. This is a garbage decision that comes from the most out of touch people, no doubt about it, in this entire company. This sucks. It does, and there's no denying that. Back from the break, we see what happened after Carmella cashed in, and she cut a promo saying that she finally did it. She's waited 287 days. She's now the longest person to to wait to cash in their Money in the Bank briefcase. That was the accolade WWE was going for, not the first ever woman to cash in her Money in the Bank at WrestleMania. None of that, right? None of that. Anyways, she says that she waited 287 days and she finally did it. Carmella, she starts crying and she gets emotional. She says, you know, there's one person I wanted to thank who's been a big help throughout this entire process, and I really think they deserve a thank you. And she says, me. So she cuts the little heel promo. She says she made history at Money in the Bank. She made history here tonight. Dasha asked Carmella about what Peyton Royce and Billie Kay, but she downplays that. She says, Mella gets the money. Mella gets the gold. Cringe. Who the hell cares? We see WWE Champion AJ Styles walking backstage. Renee Young approaches and asks about Nakamura's apology from earlier tonight. And AJ doesn't even address it. AJ doesn't even address Shinsuke. AJ doesn't want to hear it and says he might put his fist down Nakamura's throat if he sees him. AJ says he's not worried about Nakamura tonight because he never thought he'd be standing across from Daniel Bryan in the ring. AJ goes on and says Bryan is one of the best, but he's not phenomenal. So instead of taking time in an actual backstage interview, instead of giving us this garbage that we saw here tonight between Natalya and Naomi, and actually giving AJ Styles time to profess his situation here tonight on SmackDown Live and say, well, Nakamura, I'm coming for you. What you did to me was foul. I played sportsmanship with you, and you, because you lost, because you're a sore loser, you couldn't deal with it. And you know what? I'm going to come out, I'm going to beat Daniel Bryan, and I'm going to continue to be the phenomenal AJ Styles, and I'm going to continue to do what I do in that ring because I am better than you. Some shit like that. Some simple shit like that. You realistically didn't need to go all out. He gave no response to Shinsuke Nakamura here tonight. I understand that AJ Styles versus Daniel Bryan was looming, but not even that. Not even that should have been a goddamn scenario here tonight. The matchup was good for a SmackDown main event, no doubt about it. It was great. For a SmackDown main event, it was great. What these two were doing in the middle of that ring, I was absolutely invested. These two put on for the 10 minutes on TV that they got. What we saw those 10 minutes was great. I enjoyed the hell out of it. Does that mean that this was good? Does that mean that this necessarily should have been in this position? Hell no, we already talked about it. I don't think this was the right move to go with. Absolutely god-awful decision to put Nakamura and Styles in this position here. Or AJ and Bryan, holy crap. Styles and Bryan in this position here tonight. This is a pay-per-view level match. This is a matchup that we should be seeing at SummerSlam for the WWE Championship, and you're giving it away on SmackDown Live. That's degrading to not only AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan, but it's degrading to this entire WWE Championship match. But realistically, this matchup had a non-finish. This was very predictable. Shinsuke Nakamura came out. Kinshasa to Daniel Bryan. Kinshasa to AJ Styles. and SmackDown Live. He low blows AJ Styles again, twice right in the crotch. I loved it. I'm loving heel Nakamura. That's probably the best thing that we saw on SmackDown Live here tonight. But besides that, not much else to talk about. Only one other thing I want to give you guys, just this thought. Imagine the SmackDown main event scene after next week. What you can have. If they draft over The Miz, you're going to be having in your main event scene The Miz, AJ Styles, Shinsuke Nakamura, Daniel Bryan. If Bobby Roode turns heel, he's definitely in that equation as the top person. Rusev, if they decide to push him. You might have Randy Orton if he stays on Raw or something, I don't know. And whoever the hell else they decide to bring over. What if they bring over a Samoa Joe? What if they bring over a Finn Balor? We don't know. Very, very exciting stuff. I feel like the Superstar Shakeup was illy advised and illy timed. I want to talk about that so much further in another video, but it all depends on whether or not I have the time. I want to do it. I really, really want to do, but I'm not sure if that's going to be the case. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, that is all right here on your SmackDown Live review. I hope you enjoyed your review of SmackDown Live after WrestleMania. I enjoyed the hell out of this review here tonight. Make sure to like, make sure to comment, make sure to subscribe, because those are now my full thoughts on SmackDown Live. For now, this has been Joel Perez of Ringside Wrestling Entertainment. And for now, I am out of here. Thank you very, very much for watching this video. I will catch you all next time right here on Ringside Wrestling.